we have a connection to our phones. You try taking a phone away from a 2-year-old, you try taking a phone away from a 20-year-old, you might be on World Star, right? When we connect with our phones, when men masturbate, right, and they're looking into those screens, which are like the black mirror, it's carbonated, it's a black mirror, and we're exerting that energy, especially in what is when you arrive, what's that? Orgasm. What's being birthed? You got to ask yourself that question. So, are we giving a creative energy to the machine, to the device, to the quote unquote machine, right? Like, are we feeding it a life energy? Think about that.
And is it to waste the fecundity of the body and the mind?
As it has, if man were to study men, young men, leading up to them being older adults, if they participated in that act over the years, then I think they would be able to come to a conclusion about the solution. Look, we have biometric Fitbit bands. We have a wet lab in Atlanta. We have all of the machinery. We got everything that you need to not speculate, right? To come up with a complete study on what it is that is doing to people on that realm. But what I do know is it rewires the brain. It rewires neural pathways and whatnot. You have to rewire the brain with neuroplasticity through plant medicine and breathing exercise and other things if you're addicted to, quote unquote, what I would call the synagogue of Satan's industry that they are known for being a part of since time immemorial. And these are the same people that's killing babies right now in front of the world and smiling at it.
And I think that's what's wrong with this incel generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, of course, when you talk about pornography and being addicted to it and things of that nature, you know, it destroys the brain. Number one, it won't allow you to appreciate what's real, because the digital thrill that you get on things can be replaced by the real thing. You know, it's like you want your woman to come home and be a porn star. You know what I'm saying? And your expectations are so high that you don't appreciate the reality. You know what I'm saying? That's going on.
And, right. And I would even say this, Keys, on some sunken place shit. The more interaction that man has with the device, the further into that sunken place that he goes, which breaks that connection to just human interaction, you know, social interaction. You know, niggas don't even want to go outside and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel that the further we go into the phones, the further into this quote unquote wormhole man is going.
Because it's talking to a woman is an experience. Getting to know a woman is an experience. Like literally, you gain experience doing it. So the social aptitude of this generation is low. Number one, because that experience has been cut down, right, by phones. The intermediary between man and woman is the phone, is the machine. The machine is what's introducing you. The machine tells you, you know, who you should look at. The machine is guiding the relationship as the new destiny keeper. You know what I'm saying? And so if man can't use the machine to talk to woman, then man never talks to woman.
Right. So theoretically, Keys, AI is already in control because it's AI that's doing the Tinder shit. AI is the algorithm. So the algorithm through Facebook, the algorithm from all the way back in MySpace, but the algorithm on Twitter, the algorithm on YouTube, you came across Keys through a recommendation from an intermediate or a middleman that was an AI. You found your boo who you slid with and had a great night with. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all was listening to Diddy, drinking Ciroc and whatnot, doing what Diddy and Carisha do. But AI hooked that up. You know what I'm saying? So they're already the middleman. So imagine if a child got born off of that connection. So AI was the intermediate that brought a life to this planet. Come on now. So people might not even realize that it's already here. That wall, we're intermingling through an AI quote unquote firewall. It's the middleman through the algorithm. And if you're on social media and you're on what is known as Web 2.0, you can't avoid it, nigga. You're in the web. So it's the algorithm. I'll show you a mind graph to show you what the algorithms look like. They got this shit covered, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you should think about that. Like, there's some people who, like, you got to think about what you see in your algorithm is not what everybody sees. There's some people who's highly intelligent and they only see engineering stuff in their algorithm. Right? There's
they see numbers.
Who into rainforests and saving nature, and that's all they see. There's some, like, they don't see all the gossip and the rumors and the allegations. They don't see all of that. That's ours is full with filth and junk. And it's like, we're going to keep showing you this shit. This is what you like, ain't it? Keep feeding you. And so you got to ask yourself, what are you doing to where only 1% or 10% of your algorithm is showing you things that are valuable for it, but the other 90%, right, is feeding your shadow self. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's, the algorithm knows your shadow self very well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nope, you looked at that 10 seconds. That tells me something about your behavior pattern. Now you in this new web.
My spirit tells me that they trained that algorithm on the dark web, and then they put that algorithm right on Meta or right on the gram and whatnot, and they putting people think this is the visuals, Keys. Like in what they call third world countries, how they'll have like a river, the sewage, and they got all of those bottles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the timeline with the algorithm, how the algorithm has turned everybody's timeline into. And it's literally like they putting you on a dark web now.
Mm.
And that sludge or that septic tank or that cosmic slop that they're putting you in, it's an echo chamber, but it's akin, right? Because you eat with your eyes, right? So if somebody has a timeline that's filled with carnage, that's filled with low frequencies, that's filled with lower frequency suggestions and whatnot, that's filled with ELFs, that's filled with snuff films, like WorldStar. If WorldStar was around when I was coming up, it would be Faces of Death.
And let me show. Here's the thing about the options, right? So, I see somebody said I sold out a concert down here. Let me move it. The thing about the options, and things are, like I just said, the options, right? Yeah. We don't think about it. It's like you got a parasite in your body. Get rid of it. Detox. Cleanse it. Don't continue to eat the thing that feeds the parasite, the sugar, the dairy, whatever it may be that is feeding your parasite. Your AI is showing you things, right? Your algorithm is showing you things you don't want to see. There's a button that you press to say uninterested.
Right.
But then once you do that, it's like your subconscious mind. You said uninterested, but then you watch something else that showed me your interest. So it's going to keep showing you things based on your behavior pattern, not what you say, it's what you do, right? And your true side. So I feel like the AI is, and these algorithms are a good introspection to like what's on your mind, what you think about. And you want to know when you're cleaning up your spirit, you cleaning up your mind, when your algorithm is going to be showing you things, because it's going to want to keep you on social media. So they're going to be like, all right, the things you engage with, I'm going to show you more. So I think it's a real introspective of where you are in life as well. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, use it. If you're going to use it as a metric. You know what I'm saying? But also clean it up. Like, you shouldn't even want to know everything about this world. You want to know everything about the world that you want to come into fruition, right? Not just about the world that's falling down. I don't want to just see allegations all day. I don't just want to see issues and problems all day. I don't want to just see goddamn wars all day, right? Development. I want to see science. I want to see psychology and knowledge and power and solutions and cures and efforts to create, change on this planet Earth on multidimensional levels. I don't just like your phone shows you your world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your world. So curate your
mirror to the world.
Oh, you have to delete a lot of people that be showing bullshit. And you can't integrate your world with other people because their world ain't worth
That's
shit.
right. And the movie that was the most awarded movie of all time, right? It's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Brilliant film.
So that is what the internet is today. Everything, everywhere, all at once. So here it is, you live in your small town, or you live wherever you live, and you have whatever reality that you have, but because you're following 100,000 people, you're now exposed to everything, everywhere, all at once, right? And everyone is not wired for those experiences that they're walking into. Like you said, people are walking behind curtains and into doors and seeing things that they can't unsee. You know what I mean? And then there's students that are sitting at tables and getting lessons that they're not ready for.
Yeah, and the problem with a lot of you are some people believe every and anything that they see, and they don't even know
Right.
how to unbelieve it because they don't know how to research. They don't know how to. They don't know how to discern what is truth. At this point in time, it's gonna take a scholarly, wise mind to have discernment of what's true because you allowing things to attach to your mind and your spirit, right? That's low-hanging fruit. And unless you have that critical thinking eye and mind that size eye things when you see it to go a step further, which a lot of people don't because they don't have enough energy
Right.
in their body or consciousness to go a step further. They say, oh, whatever's presented to me is real. They don't have enough energy in the mind to say, nope, knock down that shit. Let me find out what's the root of this. Let me find, you know what people missing most of everything is context.
Right. Context is missing. So context is taken out of the picture. Narrative is quote unquote hijacked, right? And the truth hurts. So the psychological, neurological experts at Meta, at X, at YouTube, at Lyor Cohen, and all of them, they study the human mind and they know that the truth hurts. So people are signing up for the escapism. People are signing up for the fantasy. They're like, yo, I'll go with the fantasy. Henceforth, why niggas is in front of them PS5s all day. You know what I'm talking about? While people's noses in the phone comparing themselves to these ideas that they're seeing on the gram and TikTok and these quote unquote manicured, curated blips of people's 1 minute lives.
Bro, and
right?
Why these events are so important. Like imagine having a 5,000 people at an event specifically just to teach you a lesson on critical thinking and then take your ass home after that. Like
right.
we need like the world needs to be taught classes, you know what I'm saying, just so they can think and then go home after that. Like I think that we've gotten too much at this point in time where things need to be so stimulated and so entertaining that you never go advance unless there's so much sugar in your medicine that it's no longer medicine.
Yeah, because you know, niggas been drinking them 3 liters. You know what I'm talking about? We want sugary drinks. I had to say this before we went forward. I didn't want to forget this. My AI shit, my chat GPT is up to date. So right in the middle of our conversation, I trademarked this line. Alkalize the algorithm. Dig? Alkalize your algorithm. So it's time to begin to alkalize the algorithm. Like Keys was saying, we now have to, now the AI that's like our digital twin, the reflection of what it's going to show us is going to be what we show ourselves.
Yeah, and we don't, this is the thing a lot of people think they need, because we want to be stimulated by some high level new information when we don't have practical understanding.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers be waiting for you to say something that they don't understand. It's like, nah, actually, I need you to teach you how you can actually, become a greater deductive thinker, right? How do you search things and understand context, and how do you question things instead of always seek answers? Because when you go into anything, I don't care what you read, it could have been the most misinformation propaganda machine. The moment you start asking questions, you find holes in it. Well, why is this? What is this? Who came up with this? What was the intent? What's the narrative? Who does this benefit? You know what I'm saying? What was happening around that time? once you start asking questions, you employ empathy and context to things, right? So it's hard for you because you got to remember the author has a narrative or an agenda. So you're
Right.
going to not completely fall into the sway of what their agenda was for presenting you this information, but to take it in its raw form and decide what it means for yourself.
Right, right. To take the gems, to take the pieces of coal and to fashion it into either solitaires, princess cuts. You know what I mean? Like it's all in the hands of the smith at that point. So the students, which are the smiths, supposed to be taking the keys and whatnot and forging them into what works for them. Like how you go and get a key, but then you get it cut. So you giving them the keys is their now they have the opportunity to take those keys and cut them to work for them to open up the doors that they need to open up.
That's a fact.
That's the applicable knowledge. So what we see in this community and where I find that there's a lack of is in the doers. There's a lot of thinkers. There's more knowers than there is thinkers because everybody know everything. And that's cool and whatnot because that's the age that we in. But there's not enough doers. And when we bring all of that together, then we'll begin to see this shit do what it's supposed to do. Because to be honest with you, the potentiality and the probabilities and the possibilities are really not even being exercised in this quote unquote leap or this boom year that we're in, where there's been a leap in technology and an advancement in all things.
Mm-hmm. All things.